Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Dan the Law Arena. And today we have Ryan from Legion Games, Legion Talk, Legion Teaches History,
Legion
Legion
everything.
Everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, I love the clapping. Good job.
Yeah, I got a new thing.
Oh,
Um,
sweet.
yeah,
What's up, Ryan?
it's
How
it's
are you?
I'm outstanding, man. It's been a busy day at work. Obviously, with the holidays and stuff kicking off, it is
Right.
Halloween. So I dressed up as is the scariest thing that I could fathom, and that would be just showing my face. So,
Mm,
boo.
boo. Well, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I kind of hinted at it already. I dressed up as a Ghostbuster today. So I have all my Ghostbuster stuff behind me. Well, not all of it, just a couple of things that
We
you
definitely
can
got some
see.
lights flashing back there.
Yep.
It's cool.
My proton pack that I made a couple of years back, and then my ghost trap that's blinking over here. And yeah, and that's it. So
Well,
here we go.
yes, we are talking about an Adam Sandler movie.
Adam
Um,
Sandler. It's going to be a beautiful one. It's
uh,
Herbie Halloween.
yeah. It I was telling you this behind the scenes. I didn't realize that this movie came out in 2020. I only
Yeah, it was a
actually
little bit ago.
Yeah, I only saw it probably about a year and a half ago. It might have been around last Halloween, to be honest. And it kind of goes back to Adam Sandler's like roots. Kind of being goofy.
Hmm.
And because he's done some serious movies too, and I think he's pretty good at doing serious movies. But he'll always be Happy Gilmore, if that makes sense, or Billy
Yeah,
Madison.
you're right. Yeah, exactly. Or the Water Boy.
Yes,
Um, he seems to always play like half-witted type of person.
yeah,
Especially, I mean, this movie is one of those kind of half-wits. He's like not smart, but not dumb. He's just like I mean, I guess you could say a little bit on the dumb
uh,
side, but
what? How
more
would
of
you put?
like I don't know, more like
Maybe not misrepresented. What? Underestimated. That's what I was looking for.
there
Underestimated.
you
Sorry,
go.
it's been a it was a moderate day at work, but I am tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, so my
That's all
brain is
right.
only working half well.
Well, that's me like that's me like in this movie, Adam Sandler. My
Yeah.
brain only works half the time, anyways, halfway.
Yeah, I should
Um,
have eaten a bunch of candy. Wake up.
right, eat some candy. Whitey Wicked Workshop was here, or still is. He says, "Haven't seen this movie, so have a good night," which means he's not gonna stay. Oh man, Whitey.
It's
That's all
only
right,
it's only an hour show, bro. Come on. What are you doing?
My mom is here. Says hello, everybody. Hi, everyone.
Well, you got to
Hello,
give
mom.
it. You got to give applause for mom.
That's right. Hello, mom.
My mom doesn't watch my stuff.
And Legion Talk is also here. Oh, you're with me as well.
Yeah, well, you got to say hi to the chat. The chat's the
That's
reason
right.
that we
That's
do
right.
this,
Oh,
whether you
that's
watch
it's true.
live or after the fact. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah. Hopefully, people do also come in to watch our reviews because they like our reviews as well.
Hmm.
That's hopefully it's not just for the chat, but you never know. Um, yeah. So, anyways, welcome everybody who is here tonight. Welcome to those who will come and watch this later on. You are 4 minutes and 43 seconds in, and hopefully you don't leave. That's all I have to say. Um, so yeah, we are reviewing this Herbie Halloween. It is a Halloween movie. At first when it came out, I was like, yeah, I'm not interested. Because I don't really do Halloween stuff too much. I
Hmm.
don't like Halloween that much. Obviously I dress up once in a while. I go out with the kids, but it's not like it's something that I like. I like to
Hmm.
dress up, so I'll do that. So I any chance I get to dress up, I'll do it. Uh, for those of you who have seen us in the past, I dress up all the time.
Yes, you
Different
do.
streams, different streams and whatnot. Um, and then yeah, it's just the type of person I am. You know, You know what? Here's a little history, Ryan. I know you probably didn't ask for this, but I'll tell you anyways. In high school, I would dress up as different things all the time. One time I dressed up in a three-piece suit, and I wore it for like a month, and
Really?
yeah, and everybody started calling me Dandelion Dan, the Mafia Man, So and that was my thing. I dressed up because I was into the whole mafia movies, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna dress up like that. Um, I went to school one time dressed up as Bruce Lee. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
as Bruce Lee because I'm not Chinese, but I sewed a Bruce Lee outfit and I wore that to school probably for about a week. I didn't wear it obviously every single day because I had to wash it, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would wear it and then wear it again another time. Yeah, I just liked dressing up. I don't know what it is. I get picked on for it? Sometimes yes. And then eventually, as you get older, you kind of just don't give a crap anymore, and you're like, I don't care what people think. I'm gonna do it because I enjoy doing it.
Well, there's a whole genre for that now, and it's called cosplay. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's like, and even
So
Halloween.
I was
In all honesty,
cosplaying in school before cosplay was a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and it seems like even like Halloween has like a resurgence, right? Like,
Hmm.
you see a lot of I'd say like millennial adults do it, and stuff. Even some uh, Zoomers? What? No, yeah, no, not Zoomers. I'm trying to think of what the generations are. Anyway, yeah, like even some older generations, like yeah, there's kind of a resurgence of people just having fun.
Right.
So nothing wrong with that. Again, the only reason I'm not dressed up is because nothing's scarier than this face. So
Right. Look at that, you laugh at yourself.
yeah, you got.
And you know what? And for those young people who do watch our show, and if you're in high school and people do pick on you and laugh at you, just laugh with them. You know what? It's okay because high school doesn't last forever. Laugh with them. Don't get too offended. You know, don't get down on yourself and just live life the way you want to live it.
Pretty much.
Um, yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna go there. It seems like with stuff that I did and I got picked on, it wasn't like a thing. People didn't do, like, oh, it's how what do you call it? Like a trend, right? You,
Uh,
you
yeah, it's kind of the clicky thing to do,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
So in our time, you're about the same age as I was.
Hmm.
It was like emo. Emo was kind of accepted.
Yep.
Today, uh, drag queening or being a transgender is accepted,
Hmm.
and it doesn't mean you have to do those things. You don't have to be an emo because it's accepted. You don't have to be a drag queen because it's accepted by media and other people. Do what you want to do. Like me, I dress up as a Ghostbuster, or even in high school, I dressed up as a Jedi a few times. I wore my Jedi robes. People picked on me. Who cares? Do it because it's fun, not
Hmm.
because someone's gonna pick on you. Forget about that whole picking on you thing. You know.
Well, you
Um,
you you ultimately grow up and you realize that you don't want to be as boring as everybody else.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And learn to laugh with the people that do pick on you. Learn to just shrug it off because um, as you get older, those people come back into your life and become your friends. I don't know why or how, but
Hmm.
that's that's what happens, and it's interesting. Life is interesting. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So there you go. And this is kind of like this little talk has a little bit to do with Hubie Halloween because Hubie is always picked on in this movie,
Hmm. Yep.
and he kind of like doesn't have friends, but everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows him. They pick on him, and then in the end, spoiler alert, everybody. In the end, uh, they all kind of confess and say, you know why I picked on you? Because I was not confident in who I was, stuff, things like that in the end of the movie. And then they become friends with him, and the mother's mad at all these people because they pick on him. So, anyways, let's get into talking about this movie. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It
We'll go.
it it absolutely is gonna be a lot of fun, and it's got a pretty star-studded cast too.
It does.
It's got a lot of classic people that were in Adam Sandler movies, like Kevin
Oh yeah.
James, Julie Bowen, Ray Liotta, Rob Schneider. I mean, it. I mean, even Shaquille O'Neal's in the movie. So
Yeah.
it's got a pretty wild cast, to be honest. And it was a Netflix movie, so
Yeah.
it was just straight to Netflix. It's not like it was meant to be a theater thing, but it's just meant to be a fun holiday movie.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely is. So getting into the. Oh, hold on. Let me get in here. Getting into the plot. I already said a little bit of it, but let me go a little bit more in depth for those of you who are still watching. Um, So Adam Sandler is this kind of like a slow, happy guy that wants to make everything, wants to make Halloween safe. And
Hmm.
that's what he does. He always likes people to be safe, and it's not just Halloween. I'm guessing. I'm thinking it's he wants everybody to be safe all the time, but Halloween is one of the most things that he focuses on because of the scary stuff that happens in Halloween. And this guy Hubie gets scared at every little thing that happens. You can put your head around the corner and say boo to him, and he'll scream and like those viral videos or those memes that when the pranks of scaring their
Hmm.
spouse or whatever, and they're always
Yeah.
screaming. And I mean it's kind of funny. Um, it's not as funny as it used to be a couple of years back, but it's people still look at that stuff and laugh and be, oh, that's funny to scare somebody. But anyway, so he gets scared a lot, and then he wants people to be safe at this beautiful Halloweening thing that's going on, and then eventually he finds out that, and then it becomes a mystery. He finds out that he needs to um, find out what's happening. These people are disappearing. He needs to know how, why, and so he's on a search to find out what it is and who it is that's doing it. Eventually, at the end of the movie, it's his mom that is kidnapping everybody and making them
Hmm.
disappear because they pick on her son. And
Yep.
all her son does is smile at him. He doesn't complain. He wants to have a happy life. And she doesn't like that they pick on him all the time. And he doesn't do anything about it. So she wants to do it for him. And, in the end, he's like, no, mom, I don't. This is not how we need to do this. We don't hurt people. We don't kidnap them. We need to do things humanely. And he does. And in the end, everybody becomes happy people. They stop getting. He stops getting picked on. Everybody becomes his friend, and it's like a happy ending. Um, but that's basically the plot.
It's a little Friday the 13th ish, the first one.
Yeah.
If you kind of think about it, because it was Jason's mother in the very first movie that was actually going after people. So I think that's kind of like a cool little twist to it too. Um, so and Adam Sandler, of course, he plays one of his dullard characters.
Like goofy,
Yeah,
half-witted.
yeah, and it's pretty funny. But of course, obviously, Kevin James plays the police sergeant, who's constantly annoyed by him.
Right.
Um, and then eventually, actually, once notices people are disappearing, like it's just it slowly you see the plot kind of twist, right?
Yeah.
So it, I think when it comes to the plot itself, I think the plot is it's very simple in the aspect that other people have done it before, but I think because it's a Halloween movie, it adds like some fun to it
Yeah.
because in the end, it is his mom who is making everybody disappear.
Hmm. Yeah. And I love the Steve Buscemi part where this kind of goes into acting, where Steve Buscemi pretends he's like, like you said, it's a twist
Hmm.
where you think, oh, well, maybe Steve Buscemi's the one turning into a werewolf and he's grabbing people and he's eating them or something,
Yeah.
and but it's hilarious when they find out that he's just like a mental case,
Hmm.
he's like, oh yeah, they left the mental hospital, him and this guy came out of the mental hospital looking for his buddy, going, hey, you got to come back, and he's mental and he thinks he's a dog, so he glues fur on his
Hmm. Yep.
arms and he's like, oh.
You know,
But
it's
Steve Buscemi with those big wide eyes. He's like,
well, Steve Buscemi always plays such a creep so well, or kind of like this like off the wall kind of guy, and you'd probably never realize it, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but Steve Buscemi actually is a registered firefighter, and like he from what I understand, he keeps his registration up, so like he can actually go back to being a firefighter at any time.
right.
um, so I mean, could you imagine like, getting pulled from a burning building by Steve Buscemi? But I think he's an incredible actor. I've loved
He
him
is.
ever since ever since in all honesty, ever since like Armageddon, because I didn't know who he was as much when I was younger. Obviously, when Armageddon came out in '98, I was a lot younger, but he's always been kind of a favorite of mine when it comes to the
Yeah.
Adam Sandler
Con Air.
movies. Yeah,
He's
he's in
in
Con Air.
Con
Yep.
Air. Yeah. I think I think that's where I saw him first. Not saying that I didn't watch the Adam Sandler movies, but I recognized him first in Con Air.
Hmm.
And then when going back to the Adam Sandler movies, you see him all the time. Um,
Yep.
he's a yeah, you're right. He's a great supporting actor. He's just always he either makes it funny, or serious. I don't know. It's just weird,
Hmm.
but it's fun seeing his face all the time. I don't know. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I highly enjoy watching movies with Steve Buscemi in them. So and for that part, Kevin James as well. So I think
Yeah,
it's just
I
they're just
love
being
his.
goofballs. They're
I
being
love his
over the
mullet.
top.
I
Yes,
love his mullet.
they're being over the top goofballs. I love watching these guys just do their thing.
Yeah.
Um, even to this day, when I mean, they're in so many movies together. How can you really pick?
Right.
Um, so it's really cool to see the old cast back together. As like some of the people from like what's gosh darn it, can't think. My brain's my brain just locked up. But anyway, Adam Sandler's got a cast of characters that he always brings together, and these guys are
Yeah.
it, and so they're really awesome. Um, and Steve Buscemi ultimately is not the one getting rid of people, and he's just the weirdo next door,
Yeah.
and kind of turns into that he's really not that scary after all. And there's even one. So I think the acting is really awesome, but like I said, because it kind of makes a call back to like the Waterboy thing. I loved Waterboy when it first came out. It was so good. I think I was in high
Yeah.
school then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
That was a good movie.
it might
Definitely.
be slightly offensive for Adam Sandler to play these kind of characters, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Um, and quite frankly, at the end of the story, there's always a good message. It's rare that his
Hmm.
movie has a bad message ever in it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. He's always got decent moral messages in his
Hmm.
movies, for sure. Um, yeah, I I like his movies. Even
Yeah.
the old movies. I mean, when we even now, I could go back and watch some of the older ones.
Hmm.
They're just fun to watch.
Still to this day, Happy Gilmore with Bob Barker is one of my favorite scenes probably ever in cinema history. And the fact that Bob Barker wanted to do that and actually participate and said, like, do the actual scene, it just was freaking awesome. So I know we're getting off on a tangent, but it's Adam Sandler, so all his movies,
Yeah.
you know, but I think the acting is it's obviously goofy, but it's supposed to be goofy. It's supposed to be over the top, and that's why it's
Yeah.
fun.
All right. So, would you give acting a point?
I would give acting a point because it is kind of a callback to like how he used to do things, his goofy movies, and I like that. So
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And we didn't discuss plot point. Would you give the plot a point?
I think I would give the plot a point as well. And I like the fact that because it kind of harkens back to some old like horror style, actual horror genre movies, and
Right.
I think that makes it fun too.
Yeah. Yeah. I also give the plot a point and the acting a point. Um, yeah. So next, everybody is look, cinematography.
Cinematography.
So basically, this is the middle. So before we get into cinematography, everybody, let's go to a small commercial break. And when I say small, I mean 18 seconds.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That didn't feel like 18 seconds, but it is it is beautiful.
It is beautiful, yeah. So, guys, you can get our merchandise at InsideTheBoothTV.com/shop. Go support us over there. Get some merch. We got these things called do-rags. They're not really called do-rags. They're called neck gaiters. But I call them do-rags because you can use them for anything. I got one on my head actually right now.
Okay. Nice.
So today I was using my do-rag neck gaiter as a like ear warmer because it is getting chilly outside and I had to warm up my ears.
Yeah, it was obviously that I've recently moved within the last couple of months. It was 27 degrees when I went to work this morning. It was pretty chilly. I was like, oh, it's been a while since I've been this cold.
Right. Yeah. 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 You're not in Florida anymore.
No, not in
We're
Florida
not in
anymore.
Kansas anymore. Toto. What's up, Phil? How are you?
So yeah, cinematography is where I know it might be a slight downer. I'm probably gonna give it like half a point because it's not a high budget movie, right? It doesn't have like beautiful cinematic shots in it. But it's not meant to. So I mean, I don't consider that like a bash in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
It takes place pretty much in this like little neighborhood of this little town. It's in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and it's so you said half a point.
Yeah, I'd say half a point. But like I said, that's not a knock. It's only because it just doesn't have a big budget, and it wasn't meant to.
Right. And again, it is very much like a Adam Sandler movie, one of his older style movies. So even back then, the cinematography wasn't like the best.
No,
or nothing to say, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good. It's good enough to where they light the scene well, and you can get the aspect of the acting and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But you're right. I don't think it's like a perfect cinematic look to the movie, and like you said, it's not supposed to. But because of that, it does kind of lower the what is it called? Lower the point system.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if you want to say that Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is like one of the greatest cinematic movies of all, it's not gonna you're not gonna take this movie and compare it to that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
that would be
exactly.
just ridiculous. Um, it's
Right.
meant to be kind of a satirical style horror movie, and even a regular horror movie, like with a larger budget, which most don't have a larger budget, I wouldn't give it a full point either.
Right. Right.
So it's just not the style of movie it is.
Right. That's a good point. So I will also give it just like a half a point. I think it's not like you said. It's not the best. It's not like it's Lord of the Rings or something like that. Um, could a movie like this have cinematography like that? I think it could, but just the way the style is, it's not. It doesn't need to be.
Mm-mm.
Maybe if it was a spoof on Lord of the Rings or a more of one of those epic style movies,
Yeah,
then maybe it should have better cinematography.
agreed.
But because it is just a good fun little movie, Adam Sandler movie, you know, yeah, doesn't need to be too much. Um, so let's get into the music, the score of the movie.
So this score of the music to me, right, is also another thing that it's meant to almost be satirical, and I think for what it does with the actual score of the movie, I think it works great. Again, I'm not going to expect this grand score. We're not watching Titanic. This isn't
Right.
Lord of the Rings, like, and like I said, that's not a shot at it. I would say that the score itself works perfect, but if you say, okay, well, Titanic has one of the most iconic scores in history, this isn't going to even come close. So, to try to keep it somewhat within, I'd probably say only a half a point again. But I think it works great for what it does.
Right.
So
It allows the movie to move along.
yes, yes, it does, and that's all it really needs to do. We're
Right.
not telling this elaborate story.
Yeah. So I will also give it a half a point. It's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get it.
it's
Yep.
good for what it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Um, yeah. So I guess last but not least, dun 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 dun, is the allegory. How this movie can help us in our daily lives, or in our walk with Jesus. Either one.
I think allegorically, I give it I'd give it half a point because it has a really great message to it about you know do unto others, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, it doesn't go the extra mile that I think you would probably be looking for in that one. I mean, most of Adam Sandler's movies have a great message of some kind,
Yeah.
about treating people, maybe the most unexpected people can be like one of your best friends or can surprise you and be a phenomenal person. And that, people can learn from their mistakes and maybe of treating somebody badly and that everybody has these burdens that we don't know about, right? Because come to
Hmm.
find out at the end of the movie, a lot of other people treated him so badly because they hated themselves, and
Yeah.
and and that's a real thing in real life. Most people who
Oh,
are
it
miserable
is.
humans is because they don't like themselves.
Right. And
But
yeah, and you're right. And a lot of people that do pick on other people is because they do dislike themselves because they're not confident in something.
mhm,
Um, because they feel themselves, well, why is that person so happy? Why is he always got a smile?
mhm,
Why is this? Why that? You're so darn happy. Let me complain a little bit. Let me drag you down to where I am.
yeah,
Because you should be
what,
happy. You should be
yeah.
happy with
Why
life.
is your life so much better that and it's like, well, you don't know that their life is better. It's just that maybe they've chosen not to let life beat them down, and you've
Hmm.
decided to take a kind of a sour attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So and that kind of seems to be the moral of everything, which it's good that it has a moral to it.
It
I
is.
just it doesn't have a very strong allegory. It's got a very lukewarm, very mellow, which is fine, and it's got a great story for like it's definitely not a kids movie. I'm sure there's one part that you kind of thinking of. Remember when they're in the basement, right? Do you remember that part? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely not a kids movie. Um, so, that part kind of shocked me when I was like, "Whoa, what are we doing?" Um, but yeah, it's I think it's got a decent allegory. I really do. It's
Yeah.
just nothing incredible.
All right. Yeah, I can agree with you. I think I'm going to give it personally a point for me because
Okay.
um, I, I I did see that. I guess I can relate to that allegory. I guess a little bit. You know,
Hmm.
where I as a human I do smile a lot and I do I don't always act dumb, but um, I don't always show my intelligent side to everybody. You know but I will always smile and try to make other people smile. And it's true, a lot of people do not like that sometimes, and
Hmm.
like you said, it's not because I have a better life than anybody. It's not because I have more money or more of this or more of that. Heck, honestly, I don't have much at all personally. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a big house. I don't
Hmm.
have it, I do have my family. I love my family to death. But the thing that makes me feel joy is my walk with Jesus. I do have a relationship with God, and even though a lot of bad things seem to always come about, I don't focus on the bad things. As someone like I know a lot of people, and there are some people who do focus more on the bad negative stuff and they're always complaining about it. Well, I mean, does that really do anything for us to focus on the bad and the negative and to complain? It really doesn't change anything if you do that stuff.
Hmm.
um, is my life going to change because I'm happy? Maybe not. You know, is it going? And I can't. Okay, I'm not going to say happy because happiness is like a feeling. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. And we're all work in progress, right?
Yeah.
We want to be happy all the time, but we're not always happy all the time. I personally I get depressed sometimes and stuff, and I get into uh, modes where I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't, it, we all get in those modes and moods. I mean, we're human. We're all
Hmm.
human. Um, but I always have a smile on my face because God gives me joy in life. Even though there are some bad things that happen, I still can think about, well, God is there with me. I can move forward in life. I don't have to focus on the negative. You know, I know God has something for me in the future, and I will look forward to what the future has for me. You know, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And to add, I mean, family is one of the most important things that everybody has.
yeah,
So as
family's
somebody
good. Yeah,
somebody who least recently lived in Florida for the last decade, the furthest away from family I could probably be, unless it was on the other side of the world. I think family is massively important, and it's so awesome being so close to family. So I think a man who is rich in family is ultimately rich in life.
right, right. I can agree with that for sure. Um, and sometimes there's a lot of people out there who don't have good families, and in my
Yep.
opinion, family is not always your blood family.
Yep.
Family can be the people you choose to be in your life that give good influences on your life. Um, like like me, I go to church a lot, and I consider my church family a family. Because church they treat you like family. They're always there. I guess you could say not always, but they're there. They'll say, "Hey, how you doing today? What's going on today?" You know, maybe not everybody because you don't get close to everybody in church, but there are certain people in the church that you do get close to. and you do talk to. Um, so yeah, I think family is who you choose to have in your life.
Hmm.
At times, it's good to have blood family around, of course, because you grew up with them, and it's good to have those type of people to encourage you and to tell you you're doing good. But not always will they be there to do that. There's other people though, other people that will encourage you. Um, and that's one reason why I have Jesus in my life, because he definitely is the one who encourages me most out of everybody in this world, because humans are flawed. I'm flawed. Ryan's flawed. um, there's times where I could probably get into an argument with Ryan if I got upset with him. um,
Hmm.
and maybe one day, not I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say Ryan and I get into an argument, then we say, forget it, we don't want to be friends no more, we don't want, I mean, that can happen, but ultimately it's better not to allow stuff like that to happen, to talk it out, and be like, okay, you know what, you did this, I didn't appreciate this, how it made me feel, and then you just kind of go along with life and say, okay, we'll be friends again. um,
Yeah.
But that's one thing with Jesus. You can argue with him till you're blue in the face, but he'll never say forget you. He'll never say forget you. He'll always say, "Well, come back, come to me, talk to me. Let's work it out." Um, so yeah, let's all be
Hey,
like Jesus.
and that's a really good point too. Is that that forgiveness is a really big part of this movie as well.
Hmm.
It'd be really easy for is the person who's the butt of all the jokes and stuff like that to be very bitter and not want to forgive anybody.
Yeah,
It takes a big person to forgive others who've treated you badly, but ultimately, um, I think most of us have probably learned that holding on to anger for another person only poisons you.
yeah, yeah. Because you don't even know if that person's even thinking about you,
Yep.
and you're messing up yourself more
Yep.
than anything. So fun, fun talk. I like this.
Yeah. Never thought a
So
Halloween movie would do that, did you?
yeah, I
Adam
know, right?
Sandler movie.
An Adam Sandler Halloween movie. Um, so yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Um, so yeah, let me tally up some points here, and I'll tell you what the score is. What Inside the Booth gives this movie in points. All right, tallies up. um,
Just before you say it, you almost talked me into giving it a full point on the end there because that's a pretty
oh,
good speech, man.
oh,
But
thank you.
I don't,
Thank
it's
you.
pretty good speech. So I'll probably stick with what I got because it's what I initially gave it. But
Okay,
you
okay.
really make me want to change my opinion on that last one.
Well, let me know now, because
No, go ahead. It's like,
so this movie out of 10 points gets a 7.5 points. So I mean that seems right. That seems good.
yeah,
Um,
that's a solid watch.
yeah, definitely.
It's not going to change your life, but you're gonna have fun, and you might laugh a little bit, and laughter's phenomenal for the soul, in my opinion.
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. 7.5 points out of 10. Everybody. Hubie Halloween.
Adam Sandler's
Adam
face.
yeah.
I just can't.
Hubie
He just,
Dubois.
he just
And
makes
isn't his
that
last
goofy
name
face.
Dubois or something like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Hubie Dubois. Hubie Dubois. Adam Sandler always comes up with these weird
yeah.
names for things all
Uh,
the time.
what was it?
Hubie Dooby 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 Doo.
Because in Waterboy it was something Bobby Boucher. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
very like
Bobby
kind of like
Boucher. Hubie
very
Dubois.
French sounding. What if he has like a little bit of like maybe like French lineage or something in his family? I don't know. It's just something I've never thought about until now.
Yeah, I always just thought it was like gibberish. You know, he's always
Yeah,
saying something gibberish. He goes, "Oh, that sounds fun. Let's put
I
that in
would
the
not be
name."
surprised one bit if that's how he did it. He's like, that sounds great,
Oh,
and
it's
it's
me,
like,
Huey Dubois. Gibber, gibber, gibber.
yes, yeah, he definitely does it. Oh
Especially in
man,
like his songs, you know, when he sings his songs.
yeah.
He's always got like
Oh,
this gibberish part.
I love the Hanukkah song. It's one of my favorite parts of. We'll listen to all the Christmas music and stuff like that. It'll really actually feel like Christmas now that I'm back where in Colorado, where it gets cold and snows for the
Oh, there
holidays.
you go. Yeah.
But I remember as a kid, they'd always play the Christmas music, but they would also they'd play Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song, and just listen to him. I don't know. He's always been one of my favorites ever since a kid. So
Yeah.
I think he's a real gem in entertainment. I don't want to say Hollywood because
Yeah.
I don't feel like he rolls with those weirdos, but
Yeah, I don't think he does. Even some of his guys have come out saying that they're not, you know, they're not a part of that whole
yeah,
Hollywood stuff.
yeah. Now he keeps it very, very within the friends, very within the family. He's a very huge family
Mhm.
guy. You
Yeah,
know, him and his wife got a couple of kids, and it seems
yeah.
like
Oh,
that's
speaking of which, for acting, some of his kids are in this movie. A
that
couple
I
of his
didn't
kids.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you didn't
Really?
know that? Yeah,
No, that part I didn't know.
yeah. His kids are in it, and they did a good job acting in this movie too. You know, I
Keep
thought, yeah,
keep it in the
that's
family.
it. That's it. And he always has his friends in his movies, so it's like
Yep.
family, friends, always giving everybody he knows a job. That's very nice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, of him. It's not like some of these other Hollywood people, or they're always, you know, they'll shun you if you say something that they don't like. You know, it's
Yeah.
so dumb. Adam
Yeah.
Sandler's like, well, you know what? I don't care if you say something I don't like. You're my friend. You know, talking about family. You
Yeah.
know.
Happy Madison Productions. Whenever I
Yep.
see that, I know I'm gonna, I know I'm gonna see a movie that's gonna make me laugh. So
Yeah, for sure. Good movie. Um, yeah. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Halloween too. Are you a? Do you celebrate Halloween a lot? I know I don't. Um,
not really. I I
have you
like,
ever have you ever like looked deep into the whole Halloween thing?
as far as I understand it, it comes from, I believe it's a pagan holiday, right?
Hmm. Yeah, it is.
So, other than that, I don't think I know a whole lot about it. I usually like the time of year because I like to do like haunted houses and go to like theme parks, but like I don't
Right.
really live near that anymore. So
Right.
I've never been really one to dress up a whole lot um on Halloween. So I guess
Right.
ish. I'd say ish.
Ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like to go to the theme parks and do all the haunted stuff, like because that's kind of cool to me. But other than that, no. Because I do. Even though like I hated it as a kid, but now I kind of like being jump scared every once in a while. It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
but
That's
there's only
nice.
really only a specific time of year that you can do that. So
That's too bad you can do it all year round, huh?
yeah,
So
well, I mean, I probably get old to be honest.
it probably
I'm
would.
just one of those guys that like usually like if I've ever been in a theme park and like something's like startled me because like they jump out at you, like I'll actually get
Right.
startled, but I'll start laughing at it because I was like that was good. You got me on that one. Um,
Nice,
I
nice.
think one of my most memorable is that I went to a haunted house over a decade ago, is way back when before I moved to Florida, and went into this haunted house, and I didn't realize because I'm like such a tall guy. There was actually a spot where it like the ceiling dropped, and I smacked my head on it, and I was the only one that did it, and I was in front. And
Oh,
my
jeez.
ex girlfriend was holding on to me from behind. She's like, "Are you okay? What happened?" And I was like, "I just smacked my head on the roof." Like, she's like, "I don't think that's the kind of thrills they were looking for." And I'm like, "No, I don't think it was either."
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that's probably about it. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a
So
huge horror genre fan. I don't like watching scary movies. They're not really my thing.
yeah, some suspenseful thrillers maybe, but not horror. I don't think. I've
Mm,
never liked horror styles
yeah,
either.
see, I
Um,
don't like overly gory movies. I think it's just I
right,
feel like it's cheap. So they've never been my favorite.
right.
So
I think. What do you think of what was it? Signs. Did you think that was a good? Um,
the with Mel Gibson,
yeah, with Mel Gibson. You think that was a good
I think it was really
suspenseful
I,
style movie?
I think it was really unique for what it did. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a horror movie. I'd say it's more of like a suspense kind of movie.
Right.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to shut the door. There's some noise. So
Oh, okay. Shut the door. Shut the front door. um, yeah. So, anyways, everybody, yeah, that's the movie. Um,
I turn the camera on, then turn it off. It's like, just
so
kidding.
did you shut the front door? Shut
I
the
did.
front door.
No, I shut the door to the room.
Yeah, right.
Just because I don't want to distract the rest of the house. So
Oh,
when,
that's all right.
when I do my YouTube thing, none of like pretty much nobody understands what I'm doing. They're like, "Oh, you're doing your thing," and it's like, "Yeah, yeah, I know you guys don't understand it. It's fine."
Right.
So yeah, no, I thought Signs was pretty suspenseful. I think it was enough to kind of like creep you out a little bit.
Right.
So it was yeah, but yeah, that's probably about as far as I'd go for like
Yeah.
I don't like the Saw movies. They call that there's another name for it. It's something I'm not gonna say it because it's inappropriate, but it's just overly gory and it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think about Nightmare Before Christmas? You think that's a good Halloween movie?
I never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've
Okay.
never seen it.
No, you know what would be fun is to review that movie with you, someone who's never seen it,
I've
someone
never
like
seen it.
me who thinks it's kind of boring. I would love to see what you're, because I have friends that think it's like a cult classic. It's the best thing ever.
Really?
That happened to the world or something. I mean, I like
See.
Tim Burton. He's an okay guy. He makes.
See, I'm not a
decent
massive Tim
things.
Burton fan. It's like people talking about what who's one of the other guys that what's one of the other directors he
Martin
did
Scorsese.
well he's another one, but I don't watch any of his movies either. Like the Departed and all that stuff or whatever, the Irishman. I don't care. They're too long. They're not my thing. What's his name? He's the weird guy who did From Dusk Till Dawn.
I don't know.
I can't think of his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Dusk Till Dawn. It was done by Quentin Tarantino. Not a Quentin Tarantino fan either.
Oh, you're
I
not.
don't. Nope.
You didn't.
I don't.
You didn't like the one with. I can't even think of the movie. Antonio Banderas, the Spanish guy who plays the guitar, and then he's like action. Can't even think of the movie.
I don't. Yeah, it's not. Is that From Dusk Till Dawn? I think Antonio Banderas is in that one, isn't he? No, he's not. That's
chat, help me out.
George Clooney's in that one. That's who it is.
This chat can help me out. I don't know.
I
guess
no
I'll have to look
idea.
it up.
Yeah, not a Quentin Tarantino fan. I usually see like even James Cameron. I don't think everything that he does turns to gold. There are people that absolutely are in love with the Avatar franchise. I don't care.
Right.
It's like
Desperado. That was the name.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Desperado?
No.
Oh, it's such a good movie. Desperado.
Yeah. See, Dan's like, whoa, what?
What? Ryan,
Yeah, it's like,
We
huh?
gotta get you watching some good movies.
Yeah, there's there's certain directors that I'm just like, what are you gonna do? I didn't like the Kill Bill movies. They didn't.
Well, I didn't like those ones either.
Those are over
Those
the
were
top
kind
and corny to me. And
of well,
yeah,
you know,
I'm a weirdo, I guess.
that's all right. So, anyways, everybody, that's it. No one here that wanted to conversate about movies, huh? So, anyways,
I'll be honest. I've noticed over the last day or two that it seems to be people just kind of like lurking in the chat. I think most of the time because they're like trick or treating with their kids or something.
right,
Like our
right,
our stream last night was pretty dead.
yeah,
So
was
I
it?
just figured because the kids are going to be out doing stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
But you got to keep that
It happens.
consistency. Consistency is
Yeah,
key.
yeah, because YouTube likes when you
True.
are consistent on your shows or whatnot.
Yep.
Whatnot. And whatnot. 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 I don't know what whatnot is anymore. Anyways, hey guys, before we go, don't forget to smash. Everybody says smash. I say vanquish. I need to come up with some kind of thing where it's like vanquishing, like, you know, the old style with the sword and vanquish them like
Yeah.
that. You know, that would be fun.
Vanquishing's always been kind of your thing, so don't ever change that.
Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
I love those movies.
and when you those movies are
One that
good.
doesn't exist.
Which one?
The fifth one.
Oh.
It just goes
Yeah, it
Rocky
could've been-
4 and then Rocky Balboa. There's no
Yeah.
one in between that.
Rocky, Sylvester Stallone does say that he wishes he could have redid that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Like he likes it, but he wants to like change some things, you know. So
Really? I don't think I've ever seen that.
I guess I guess the studio was giving him a hard time for changing certain things or whatever. And even though he's the one who wrote it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so weird, you know. Why can't you just change it up a little bit and do it the way you want? Studios are strange. Because I've heard that with other movies too, like that whole what's his name that did Batman. Is it Batman versus not Batman versus Superman, but the other one.
Because Zack Snyder did Batman versus
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he did Batman versus Superman.
And he did the Justice League, or he did half of
Yeah,
it, or something like that, and
yeah,
then someone else
half
came
of
in.
it. And then because his son died, I think he tragically drowned. They came in, and then Joss Whedon actually like rewrote like 2/3 of the whole entire movie.
Mm-hmm. But what I don't understand is that some studios, they're like, no, we don't want to change it, just leave it. And they're like, but I want to change it to make it better. And studios won't give directors that leeway, I guess. I don't know why. But there it is, you know. So strange.
Yeah. I think if you're like you wrote it, you're directing it. Like I think you should have free reign to change. Like that just makes sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Studios are fickle. Because obviously look at some of the entertainment we have. They make purposely bad decisions.
Nowadays,
I feel like. Yeah. So I don't know.
And why? My question is, why would they make purposely bad decisions when they're not making the money? Or are they making money in a different way?
They make money in a different way.
It's somebody just giving them money. Oh, I'll give you so much if you do it this way, because that's how we want things to go. And if you don't make money on it,
it's
box
really
office, we'll still give you the money. I mean,
it's really interesting that our government has bailed out Hollywood for like the second time now, just within the last,
Really?
So Oh yeah, no, this is COVID wasn't the first time that the government has bailed out Hollywood. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to give my tax money to people like that.
I don't either.
They need to work. If I'm working my butt off for them to take my money and give it to somebody else, then those type of people need to start giving more money to people like me. Bring it back my way, you know.
Well, look at the people who willingly went on strike, right? They decided in California, like right before it ended up ending, that like, oh well, we're going to give them unemployment for what? For willingly not going to work? That's not how
it's
unemployment
not like they were
works.
fired.
That's not how that works. But
stupid. I wish our government wasn't so.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, dude. That's a whole nother. That's probably a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down.
Yeah. Let's next time we come on, you and I we'll talk about government.
Yeah,
just the government. We won't watch a movie. We won't talk about a movie. We'll just talk about how much the government sucks, and how we and how we get stuck with bull crap.
Yeah,
and like we're a bunch of slaves.
Yeah, stop handing our money out to people who hate our guts.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
kind of a firm believer in that. But yeah, like I said, that's a whole nother story. And this was a special show. We did a themed movie, which it was a fun movie. I think it's a solid probably 7.5 out of 10 is ultimately what it came out to be. You know, so it's like a 75%. It's like a C plus. I'm all for that. So
me too.
Yeah, it's an entertaining movie. Not for the kids. Don't watch it with kids. But you know, if you and your spouse want some entertainment,
if the kids get older, then they can watch it. You know,
maybe I should watch Desperado, so next time I come on, Dan doesn't make fun of me.
That's it. Yeah, at least Desperado.
At least.
At least just that one.
Yeah. Deal.
All right. Cool. So anyways, thanks guys for being here. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you to the chat. You guys are the best. Even if you're just lurking. I started out a lurker myself. I get it.
And for those of you who are watching now or watching later, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to the end of the show and watching all the way to the end, because YouTube algorithms like it. I like it. And if people watch through it, YouTube will say, hey, people must like this show, and they'll push it to other people to watch it. And that's what we need. We need more help that way. Again, if you want to help support us, go to our shop page, InsideTheBoothTV.com/shop. You can buy something to help support us. You can become a Patreon member over on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/InsideTheBooth, and you can support us that way for only as little as $1 up to however much you want to help us with. If you want to do a one-time give, down in the description below, we have a PayPal account. You can do that as well. I'm trying to save up my personal money right now to get a LLC, so Inside the Booth can be more business wise, and I can what is it called? I can remonetize the channel, because I have to verify the channel. And for some weird reason, verifying this channel, I have to have an LLC. I don't know why. I must have pushed the wrong button when I made the channel or something. But I've heard other people say, oh yeah, they just needed my driver's license. I'm like, well, why do they want an LLC from me? What did I do wrong? You know?
That's interesting. I've never heard that. I'd have to Google that, of why that's a thing.
Yeah. I think
it's very strange.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, and LLCs here in New York is $200. So it has been raised since COVID. Before COVID, it was like $45. Now it's $200. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. It was in Florida. It's I think it's like 150 or something. That was before the coup. So I guess New York went a little crazy afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is New York.
Yeah, it is New York. We're a Democrat state, I guess. But only the city is Democrat. If you go into the country where I live, everybody loves Trump, and they're rooting for, you know, Biden to get out. So, anyways, that's the show, guys. Thanks for being with us. Something I could have talked about after I said goodbye, but that's all right. Thanks for being with us, guys. God bless you. Have a good night.
See you.
We'll see you next Tuesday.